Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to the hopefully last video on the F-150, things being stolen and then trying to fix it so things can't get stolen story. So if you've seen the previous videos, you'll see that when I lived in San Antonio, taillights got stolen, and it started me down this whole journey of what are the things that I can do to make it more anti-theft proof. There might not be a way to make it perfect, but what's some way to deter that and add some safety to the truck. So after the taillights were stolen, I got new ones, got them refitted, fixed up. You'll see that in all the videos and stuff. And then I added the latch lid to the tailgate, and then the safety collar on the tailgate so you can't steal the tailgate itself. You can see all that in those videos. And then I mentioned back then that there's more things I wanted to do. So I've finally done those things. I'm gonna show it to you today and close out this story about stealing truck stuff. So I think I mentioned back in the day that one of the great things to get would be a bed cover, also known as a tonneau cover. And getting a metal one that you can't cut into would help deter people from breaking in, because you have to get into the back of the tailgate here. So this one specifically locks with the tailgate, so you have to open the truck with the key to open the tailgate itself. And then these here, the latch lid, help protect that. And then over here on the side, the tailgate lock helps not stealing the tailgate itself. So this one is metal. This one does roll up and doesn't block the whole back of the window, but it's made out of metal, and whenever it's all the way down, here you can see the metal rails on the sides all the way towards the back. When you close it, then it helps block that area off. So I really like this one here. I got it on Marketplace for half price. I think brand new. This specifically being the Bak or Bak Flip, something like that. X4s is about $1,300. Thankfully, I got it on Marketplace for $700. I think it's branded or sold through Real Truck, but there's the thing itself. And thankfully, this will help protect the bed, maybe make the truck a little more aerodynamic. And then, yeah, safety is the biggest thing. So here's the bed cover in the rolled up position. You can see on the sides here, the little latches or place where it engages with the side, which is another reason I like this one. Whenever it's down, it pushes this piece here, which pulls out a metal locking rail. And so it locks in all of the sliders as it goes all the way up towards the back. So hopefully that will help keep it safe. Here you can hear it clicks in, and then all those are locked, and so it's harder to get underneath that. If you really wanted to, sure, get a plasma cutter or bring a diamond blade saw. You could always cut this or cut the tailgate, or I mean, it depends on how hardcore you want to go. If you really, really want to steal something, you will, but this will definitely help deter. Okay, so then one of the other things that I mentioned would be getting a dash cam. So dash cam is now in there. So this one specifically is a 3-camera system. So it has one that faces in, one that faces out. That one that faces out is 4K, 1080p towards the inside. And then in the back towards the bed, another 1080p camera. So that one's really important because it will watch the bed. And if anyone's stealing taillights, it'll get them on film. One of the issues when I got it first installed was that it runs off the battery, and it was plugged in right here, and then it's only filming when the truck is on. So all the cords are tucked, but you'll see there's the power cord right there. Now I have it wired into the truck via the fuse panel down here, and it is recording even when the truck is off. So you'll see the red light up there is on, because even when the truck is parked, it is still recording. I went ahead and pulled off the fuse panel cover because I wanted to show this. I will link this in the description, but this is the Red Tiger parking ability or parking enabling hardwiring kit for the dash cam. You'll see the voltage from the battery here. It has 3 settings. This is now set on the 11.6 setting, so the lowest setting, so it keeps it running longer. And it has a built-in fuse in this, or a monitor, so that whenever it gets to 11.6, it will then shut it off. So in theory, if it gets the battery super low, then it will stop pulling the power for the dash cam, and then you will be able to start your truck back up. But it will record for a good while. And my thinking is, if you're parked somewhere at a restaurant, or if you're, you know, in San Antonio and you're shopping for an hour or so, it'll at least record for that time. It might not record for forever. I do have a buddy, Daniel, that says he was gone for a trip for an entire week or so, came back and it was still recording, still good to go. So I guess it depends on how good your truck's battery system is, if there's any parasitic drain, that kind of thing. I think my truck has a little parasitic drain, so mine doesn't last forever, but mine does last for at least a couple hours, which is what I'm hoping that it will do. Okay, so one more thing I wanted to show is how and where I ended up mounting the dash cam itself. At first, I had it mounted here underneath the rearview mirror, but when you're driving, you really see it a lot every time you glance to the right, or anytime you're looking out the front, which is all the time when you're driving. You just see it here. And the screen, which this one specifically has a pretty big screen, which you can turn off, but it starts off with it on. You just see it a lot. It's kind of distracting having it there. So I moved it to the side over here and all the way up against the black part of the glass there. Yep. So whenever you're driving, that's pretty much what you see. Just like that. You don't see it hardly at all. This system does have the 3 cameras, so you can see on the screen here, there's me pointing a camera at it. And then you can see the one on the back and the one on the front. This one you can shut off the screen. I believe this specific dash cam is J Zones or something like that. Another company I liked a lot was Red Tiger, but I won this at a white elephant Christmas party, so I finally put it in because of that. The hardwiring kit is Red Tiger though. Anyways, that's where I mounted it. The power cord goes up and then gets tucked in, goes down the side, and is wired into the fuse box down there. And then the 3rd camera cable goes around it. It goes down the bottom of this and then is tucked so that it does not hit the camera that goes out the front for the adaptive cruise control, because that's where that camera is for that, or radar or sensor, whatever it is, but it's housed in that. And then the cable goes up around and all the way to the back to the camera itself. You do see the wire right there for that 3rd camera, but that's the one thing that shows for the camera. So this system I really like. It's protecting my truck by recording the front, the inside, and the back, even when the vehicle is parked, which is the part that I was worried about, because I wanted to try to remedy the situation that happened to me. So I was inside of the building for I think an hour or 2 when the taillights were stolen, and it was dark out. This dash cam system does have night recording mode, has night vision, whatever you want to say. So it should help. And I remember that when the taillights were stolen, the cops asked me, do you have footage? And so I had to say no. And the cops said, well, we can't really do anything then if you don't have any footage and you don't have a description. And none of the stores that were nearby were recording and had any footage. So if you were parked and you had a dash cam on, you could then provide something to the cops and say, the person looked like they were wearing these clothes, or it looked like this. And that's who I think stole the taillights. So once again, this is not going to be the end all, but this is where I'm going to stop. I don't think I will do any more. If someone really wants to steal the truck, then they're going to go for it. They're going to do whatever they want to do, but this will at least deter them. If you saw the cover, you saw the locks, you might possibly try to steal a different truck, different vehicle, different taillights. Hopefully you'd leave mine alone, but hopefully this will help you. There are a few other things you can do. I have a friend that put a lock on the OBD2 port. I'll put that in the link as well. I'll put that in the description, the Amazon link for that. But you could put a lock on your OBD2 port to prevent people from recoding it to a different key. Because if you stole the truck, but you didn't have the key, you wouldn't be able to drive it, but you could get another key and recode it using the OBD2 port. So there's a lock that they make for that as well. So there is the information that I know and what I've done. I really hope this helps. It's a sucky situation to have your truck taillights stolen or even your truck itself stolen, but there's some things you can do to help. All right, so I showed you the bed cover, I showed you the dash cam, and my last piece of advice is just don't live in San Antonio. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of F-150 taillights specifically, but also tailgates and the trucks as well, stolen in San Antonio. I keep seeing people posting about their taillights being stolen, and the caption is not, "Oh no, my taillights were stolen," it's "San Antonio strikes again." So I know you might not be able to help it and you might have to be there for a job or whatever the reason is, but I moved away and I have noticed less attempts. When I still lived there and I had the latch lid on there, there's a couple times that I saw there was a screwdriver that had been put in, and you can see the indentation in the areas nearby where they had tried with a screwdriver, and they were deterred by that and they stopped and they probably got a different truck, but they did try. There's one time as well that they got the screw out on the left side of the latch lid, and it's a different design screw, so it was a little harder for them to do, but they did get it out, but they stopped and didn't do the right side. So that did help once again, but those attempts were all done when I lived in San Antonio. Now that I've moved, I've been here since March of last year, I haven't seen any attempts happen, and I've added more security just to be sure, but I have not had attempts since I moved there. So I just mentioned it, but I want to show, this is the bolt that comes with the latch lid kit, and it's a very interesting, unique bit. And the one on the left, they were able to steal that one, so I put a different one in there to replace it. The lid itself is still in place, has a washer back there, all that kind of stuff. But yes, they did get the one here, and that was when I still lived in San Antonio. I know the car has been in the background of this video, and it will be having some content come soon. It's just had some issues. I'm trying to work out some little quirks, and hopefully that will have some videos coming soon. I really want to make the video about just what it's like to drive this car, the turbo sounds that it makes, all that kind of stuff. And then you'll see that Harley is here too, and I think that is going to be selling soon. So that will go away and might get something else that will go in this spot. Last thing to share is inside the truck, and I forgot to mention I changed out this, which is the air freshener. I had this for quite a while. I really like it. Some great scents that they make for this, but it hangs underneath here and swings, and sometimes you'll get real close to hitting the glass. And now that the dash cam is there, I don't want it to hit that and break that. So I've changed it out for this, and it clips on the visor there. I'll put the link for this in the description as well, but it's from Amazon. This one smells great. It's the amber smell. Yeah, big fan. It's just protecting from breaking the glass there, breaking the dash, that kind of stuff. I keep thinking of one more thing I want to mention, and I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry. I was putting the visor back up, and I remember another reason why I placed the dash camera here is that even with the visor up, it can see out of that location. So the truck is protected from the sun, but it's still filming inside the cab and outside. Yeah, just had to mention, love that location, big fan, it works great. Okay, so closing comments. If your truck taillights or your tailgate or your truck gets stolen, I'm really sorry, and that does suck. I made this video and the previous ones to help give some tips, and you can take some of the advice or all of it, and I hope that it can help you. Really appreciate you watching the video. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.